Today's companies have a couple of big problems. They struggle to interpret what customers say, and they are unsuccessful in understanding what employees want. Some time ago, I made a video where I talked about why it doesn't make sense for brands to analyze customer feedback only now and then, and instead it should be a continuous process. You will find the link in the description. So today I thought it was an excellent occasion to make a video about the second problem that brands have, which is that they are unsuccessful in understanding what employees want. Let me give you some numbers first. I recently read an article called The Worldwide Employee Engagement Crisis, where they analyzed the employee engagement rates in the United States since the year 2000. You know what? Only 13% of employees around the world are actively engaged at work. This number is terrible and perfectly describes the situation where the vast majority of companies lie today. So why is this happening? It happens because brands don't pay enough attention to employee feedback, or at least not as much as they dedicate to customers' feedback. One question I always ask the brands I work with is, if you listen to customers' feedback daily, why would you listen to employee feedback only once a year? I'm sure that no employers would have a good answer to this. In fact, there are no excuses. Most companies fall in the trap of having these unfocused annual surveys, which eventually have the goal to measure some metrics, but they hardly produce any actionable insight. Technology today makes it easy to create an employee survey and call it engagement program. But let's be honest, you can engage with someone only if you keep the conversation going continuously, which is not happening if the company collects feedback only once or twice a year. That's pretty clear. It is proven that if the brand focuses on learnings from employees throughout the year, the whole company will increase its profitability as a consequence of more satisfied and developed workforce. If this is not happening, it's usually because of the following reasons. Brands view employee feedback as a one-time project and not as a continuous process. Brands sink into long and unfocused surveys and do not focus on personal development instead. Brands try to satisfy employees in the short term instead of treating them as stakeholders and use their feedback to design the future strategy of the company. Does this resonate with you? If so, subscribe to this channel, because in the next video I will tell you what the employer can do to change the situation for the better. I hope to see you soon. Thank you.